PHARMASAAT GmbH Arten has been producing high-quality seeds and seedlings for medicinal plants, herbs and wild herbs since 1997, and is not part of any major corporation. The successful company cultivates growing fields measuring 15 hectares. They include more than 3 hectares that are farmed along organic lines. The company nurtures young plants in 2 foil greenhouses. Varieties of seeds for many medicinal and herb plants are available with tested quality levels, and they represent the diversity of products at PHARMASAAT GmbH. The annual cycle starts in spring. After the soil has been prepared, sowing takes place with seeds cultivated by the company. Many of the machines in use are specially designed for small areas. The minimum growing area per variety is 500 square meters. On average, the field areas measure between 1,500 and 3,000 square meters. Chamomile takes up the most space, accounting for between 5 and 6 hectares. Pesticides are sprayed in line with good practice in the non-organic area. A survey of weed spectra or harmful organisms determines whether pesticides need to be used for any crops. The 2 greenhouses, each measuring 300 square meters, also have to be prepared in spring. A seeding machine guarantees accurately dosed and precise sowing operations. Different filters regulate the numbers of seeds. The grains are placed in pallets, which are filled with propagating substrate. If necessary, fertilization and pesticides certified for organic farms with beneficial insects are used. The young plants develop root bales after 5 to 8 weeks in the automatically heated, watered and ventilated greenhouses. They are then either supplied to customers or planted in the company's fields by machine. There are some plants which can only be propagated using cuttings, like peppermint. The shoot tips from the parent plants are placed in the soil. Temporary workers place between 300 and 500,000 plants in propagating pallets by hand each season, depending on how many are required. After being planted, the peppermint spends about 4 weeks in the greenhouse and is regularly watered and cultivated to form complete young plants. They are then delivered to customers. Those crops which require pre-cultivation in the greenhouse or are hard to handle as direct seeds out in the fields are sown using the planting machine. Seeds from the company's own production with very high quality levels are used to cultivate young plants. Cuttings from select parent plants are grown so that they can then be planted out. A planting machine is now used and the small plants are placed in the ground individually. A little plant joins the line every 30 centimeters. The plants are given plenty of water to guarantee a good start to the growth process. One section of the growing fields has irrigation equipment. By using several watering units, PHARMASAAT can therefore guarantee production even if the weather is dry. Weeding by hand is a top priority, not just in the organic farming section, but also in the conventional growing areas. Any weeds which could reduce the quality of the seeds later are removed by hand on several occasions. In order to restrict this procedure to a minimum, PHARMASAAT GmbH uses modern hoeing machines with various special tools. If the weather has been good and the cultivation process has gone well, the first plants are ready for harvesting in summer. The PHARMASAAT workers harvest the chamomile in June. They harvest the complete plants using a harvester trailer. The chamomile seeds are very small and light. Thousands of grains weigh no more than 0.5 grams. Using this method, PHARMASAAT can also harvest these small seeds without suffering any major losses. The chamomile plants harvested in this way are dried and later threshed with a small combine harvester. Other crops like bitter candy tuft are harvested with a different harvesting machine. This procedure is particularly kind to the seeds and reduces losses to a minimum. The machine cuts down the plants with a working width of 2 meters and conveys them to the storage container. A continuous rubber belt even transports any seeds which have fallen out into the rear of the harvester. Once the harvester is full, it makes its way to the storehouse at PHARMASAAT GmbH. The crops are unloaded there and placed in the drying area. Cold ventilation ensures a slow drying process and further ripening of the seeds. The chamomile is now dry enough, and so it is time for threshing. The company's own small combine harvester stands in the storehouse to complete the stationary threshing operation. The dried chamomile plants have to be fed into the combine harvester by hand. It receives the chamomile plants and threshes the grains out of the plants. The threshed grains are fed into large sacks with many other flour elements and are later processed into seeds during the purification stage. The employees load the threshed chamomile straw onto trailers. It is later used as organic fertilizer to improve the soil in the fields. In order to process the harvested raw seeds from the different medicinal and herb plants, the company uses the physical features of the seeds, like their weight, size, and shape. The raw threshed seeds reach the cleaning unit, and the dirt, impurities and harvest residue are removed through wind and vibrating sieves. The individual sieved portions are then placed in different packaging units. The cleaning unit works from August well into the winter months. In order to achieve the highest levels of purification for the seeds, a table sorter is also available. By using ideal plant management in the fields, combined with modern technology, the company achieves purity levels of between 99.8% and 100%. One of the last seed crops to be threshed is fennel. This does not ripen until late autumn. The small combine harvester is used for this once again. The machine threshes the ripe grains from the umbels here during the harvesting process. They are transported to the PHARMASAAT sheds and dried with warm air. The straw that accumulates is threshed and spread over the fields out of the machine. It is mulched later and worked into the ground. Before any seeds are made available to customers, PHARMASAAT GmbH examines them to see whether they will germinate. 100 grains are placed in a petri dish with several repetitions for each species, and they are then counted later. These and outside laboratory tests on the seeds guarantee high quality levels. The final working process involves packaging the clean, checked seeds in lots ranging from 5 grams to several tons, depending on what customers need. The seeds, ordered by fax, phone, email or via the online shop, are given secure packaging and are then delivered to the customer promptly. Many years of experience and specialist expertise make PHARMASAAT GmbH Arten a reliable partner for domestic and international customers actively involved in planting herbs.